Welcome to the channel. Here, we provide clear, actionable insights into the complex world of tax and accounting to help your business thrive.
All right, today we are diving into something brand new. It's called the Trump account. This came out of the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, and honestly, it's designed to shake things up. The whole idea is to change the game for how we save for the next generation, right from the day they're born. So, let's get into how it works.
And to kick things off, the government is actually starting a pilot program to get these accounts going. What does that mean? Well, for kids who are eligible, it means a $1,000 deposit right out of the gate. That's a pretty powerful head start, and we'll get into who qualifies for that in just a bit.
And this really gets to the heart of the whole thing. Just imagine that for a second. What if we could give every single kid a locked-in, long-term investment account from the moment they're born? The Trump account is basically the government's shot at answering that exact question.
Okay, so what is this thing officially? Well, on paper, it's a new kind of traditional IRA. You know, an individual retirement account where your money can grow tax-deferred. But this one's just for minors. And here's the kicker, and this is really important. It's like it has two completely different lives. First, there's this super protected growth period, and then it morphs into a more standard IRA.
So let's start with that first life, the growth period. This thing lasts from birth all the way until the end of the year before a person's 18th birthday. And during all those years, the account operates under a really unique and, frankly, very protected set of rules.
And when I say strict, I mean strict. This is not like any other retirement or savings account you've probably ever seen. The rules for how you put money in, what you invest in, and when you can take money out, they're all designed for one single purpose: long-term, completely hands-off growth. Let's break down what that actually looks like.
First things first, the money. Where does it even come from? Well, the law is super specific about this. During that initial growth period, there are 5 and only 5 ways this account can be funded.
What's really interesting here is just how many different sources can contribute. It all starts with that seed money from the government's pilot program. But you can also have contributions from states or charities. Even employers can chip in up to $2,500 a year. And of course, parents, family, the child themselves, they can all put money in. And finally, you can roll money over from another Trump account. It's almost like it's designed to be a community effort.
But there is an important limit you got to know about. While the money from governments and charities is basically unlimited, there's a cap on private funding. So the total amount from an employer plus all the contributions from parents, family, and anyone else, that all can't be more than a combined $5,000 per year.
Okay, so you've got money in the account. Now what? What can you actually invest it in? This is where the rules get even tighter. During the growth period, the money can only go into something called an eligible investment. And this isn't just any old stock or bond. It's a very, very specific type of low-cost passive index fund.
I mean, look at these rules. They really show you how hands-off this strategy is meant to be. You have to invest in a fund that tracks a broad U.S. index. Think something like the S&P 500. You're not allowed to try and pick winners, like a hot tech fund or a healthcare fund. Nope. The funds can't use risky leverage, and the fees have to be incredibly low. We're talking less than 0.1%. You can't even just let the money sit in cash. The goal is crystal clear. Set it, forget it, and let the market work its magic over decades.
And what about taking money out? The rule here is simple and it is absolute. You can't. The law literally says no distributions may be made from a Trump account during this growth phase. The only real exceptions are for things like rolling it over, fixing a mistake where you put too much in, or in the tragic case of the beneficiary's death. That money is meant to stay put and grow, period.
So what happens when this super restricted account finally grows up? Well, that brings us to the second life of the Trump account, the adult phase. And you guessed it, this is where everything changes.
The big switch happens on a very specific date, January 1st of the calendar year that the beneficiary turns 18. On that day, all those special, super strict rules from the growth period, they just fall away. The account basically transforms into something way more familiar.
Let's really put these two lives head to head. In the growth period, you have those 5 specific ways to put money in. But in the adult phase, poof, gone. It just follows normal IRA rules, which usually means you need earned income to contribute. And the biggest change of all those investment restrictions are gone. The owner can invest in whatever they want. And the ban on taking money out, that's lifted too. It just becomes a normal traditional IRA with the same taxes and penalties for early withdrawals. The only thing that stays the same is that it's kept separate for tax purposes.
Okay, so we get the mechanics of the account, right? But how do you actually get one started?
Let's talk about the practical side of things, especially how to get that initial $1,000 from the pilot program.
Eligibility for that pilot program is actually pretty straightforward. The child has to be born within a specific 4-year window, so after December 31st, 2024, but before January 1st, 2029. They also have to be a U.S. citizen and have a Social Security number. Simple as that.
Now, the timeline here is critical. The window for newborns to be eligible opens right at the start of 2025. A key date to circle on your calendar is July 4th, 2026. That's the absolute earliest any contributions can be made to one of these accounts. The online application tool should be up around then, and the whole pilot program closes to any kids born after the end of 2028.
And the process for opening one? It's designed to be pretty easy. An authorized person, which usually means a parent or legal guardian, is the one who makes the election. You'll be able to do it by either filling out a new IRS form, it's going to be Form 4547, or you can use that online portal at trumpaccounts.gov once it's up and running. Okay, we've gone through all the nitty-gritty details. Let's zoom out for a second. Why does this new account really matter? What's the big picture here?
So to recap everything, we are looking at a brand new savings account for kids, and it's defined by its two very different lives. It starts out as this protected, hands-off investment incubator that's built for nothing but growth. Then at 18, it transforms into a standard traditional IRA, which gives the young adult control and flexibility. And the whole thing gets kickstarted with a pilot program offering eligible newborns a $1,000 head start.
And all of this leaves us with one final and I think really fascinating question. If you create an automated long-term investment vehicle from the day someone is born, one that grows untouched for nearly 2 decades, could this fundamentally change how an entire generation thinks about saving, how they approach financial planning? It's a huge question, and I guess only time will tell.